Hey guys, it's me Issa, also known on the interwebs as Issaplease, and today I am going to be getting microbladed. Yes, I know that microblading has been around for like the past year or so, and I might be late in the game, but I wanted to make this video with the goal that I do it before you do it, so you know what to expect. I get to answer all your questions and inquiries, and well, I basically just wanted to show everyone my experience if in case you ever wanted to get your eyebrows done but one, were too afraid, two, had commitment issues like I do, and three, kind of felt like you couldn't afford it. Honestly, this isn't the first time that I've been offered microblading services. I used to say that I didn't want to get my eyebrows done because I was afraid that eyebrow styles would change and that I was stuck with the eyebrows that I had. Secondly, I didn't really know what microblading was, and I thought that as I grew older, my eyebrows would be from here to here and it would just really look weird. And I've seen older women get their tattoos that eventually turn blue or green or like a really weird orange tinge, and I just really didn't like it. But I did not know that microblading actually only lasts about 2 years, and they're not the blockish tattoo brows that our mothers and grandmothers had back in the day. Actually, microblading is quite different because if you look at the needles, it is more defined. It has stroke-like needles, which makes it kind of look like your eyebrows are actually natural, which is really the reason why I agreed to doing it in the first place, because I just wanted my eyebrows to look more defined. Because if you can see right now, I really decided to put my makeup on, leave the eyebrows out, so that you could see what my eyebrows actually look like before I got the procedures. As you can see, I have very little eyebrows, which is why I can never get like that Kilai 2000 look like those Instagram girls do. But I have weird hair here, and one of my main problems about my eyebrows is that they always go down. Like even if you try to put them in place, they always tend to go down. Here is my other eyebrow, which is thinner. Once when I was in the first grade, I actually fell down. A girl pushed me while playing Japanese, and it eventually gave me an empty it gave me a scar basically. Now my eyebrow's empty. The semi-permanent makeup industry is growing very vastly. I obviously took the time to research on my semi-permanent makeup artist, who is Mikey, and I really asked her a lot of questions before I had the procedure done, or before today, and I've also been stalking her very heavily on the interwebs. Mikey did tell me in advance that getting your eyebrows done is like a roller coaster ride. One day you'll love it, one day you won't. In fact, she went as far as giving me this sheet of paper in advance, and it has all the aftercare, the do's and the don'ts, and the importances, and basically an idea of what my eyebrows are going to look like within the next 10 to, you know what, 10 to like a month. Basically, it says here that the first 10 days are the hardest because on the first day you will love them. On the second day to the 5th day they will get a bit dark, and on the 5th to 10th day they will start flaking and the shape is a little bit off. 10 to the 15th day it'll feel like it's not even there, and then on the 15th to 30th day they will be coming back. So it does sound like one heck of a roller coaster ride. Prior to getting my eyebrows done, I did have a meet and greet, which was that Saturday and Sunday. So obviously I couldn't risk seeing my readers and my viewers and my followers and my friends with really weird eyebrows. Now I do have a couple of events within the month, and I do have a couple of meetings, but it is not as big of a deal as Saturday and Sunday was. So we finally plotted the dates, and today is the day that we are finally gonna get it. Honestly, I am so freaking scared to do this because one, I don't really know if I'm afraid of needles, but the thought of needles scare me. So I texted her yesterday and I asked her, is there anything that I needed to do yesterday in preparation for today? Skip coffee and alcohol, and I already drank coffee, so and she said it is best if you're not on your period because these things can increase hypersensitivity. Now, to talk a little bit about hypersensitivity, I personally have, which I believe is a higher threshold to pain. I do not feel any pain when I'm getting waxed or threaded. I'm perfectly fine with that. But when it involves instruments, I just feel like I get so anxious at the thought of seeing metals or anything sharp. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this today. Today I texted her and asked, can I wear makeup? Because if I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, obviously I wouldn't be wearing it right now. But she said you are allowed to put on makeup. You can also put makeup on your brows, so she knows how I usually do them. Okay, so that's basically the before, everything you need to know before the procedure. I am definitely excited to do this. It took me a long time. So yeah, I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Tomorrow.
It is the day after. It is approximately 16 hours since I finished my microblading session. I took a video last night where I showed you what my brows looked like under false light, under fluorescent or LED lights, but I thought that I would scrap that video and shoot a completely different one with better lighting. Since I got back from my session with Mikey, I have been following strict instructions of having to wash my brows every 2 to 3 hours with a mild soap. I lather it on my hands and then I put it on my brows following the direction that my hair grows, and then I just wash it dry with water and then I pat it down. After that, I then go ahead and apply this Dr. Onyx, what does it say, Total Care Plus Cream. That is just some ointment to help heal my brows faster. So I do this for the first 24 hours, and then after 24 hours I will go ahead and apply it twice or thrice a day, and I will do this for the next 3 days. So this is what my eyebrows look like 16 hours after, and honestly, if I haven't said it enough, I freaking love them. Honestly, I feel kind of ashamed after seeing my eyebrows and what they look like now, and just thinking about how I used to do my eyebrows, because honestly, these are the eyebrows that I was supposed to have and not that danky ass set of brows that I had 24 hours ago or 16 hours ago. But we're finally here, we have better brows, and I wanted to tell you guys about the entire process of me getting my microblading session done. So basically what happened yesterday was I sat down with Mikey in the room and she began to ask me a set of standard questions. Now these questions were along the lines of, are you pregnant? Do you have a kidney or liver disease? Or do you have diabetes or anything that could possibly cause a slow healing process? Now obviously I have none of these things, so I was good to go and I was able to get my session done. After she was done asking me a standard set of questions, she then asked me to sit in front of a ring light where she began to map my eyebrows.
Can you take a picture first of how your brows are when they're... I actually like how you shape your natural brows, but
It's not nice, but though.
can I change it up a little bit?
Yes, go ahead. Now, the most interesting thing about this was that Mikey did point out that my eyebrows were kind of low arched, or not even low arched. I think the term was they were kind of droopy. Now, my eyebrows are droopy, so that meant they were kind of going down, and my eyes are also sort of going down, which is why I heavily wear eyeliner to kind of bring them up. So what Mikey suggested is that she kind of fixed my arc and that she would kind of bring it a little bit higher so that I looked more awake rather than sad. And honestly, I really had no idea what was going on. I was just like, yes, I trust Mikey completely, and apparently there is a whole science to what looks good on your face, which I knew, but I didn't really knew what was good for my face, but Mikey did, and she completely prepared me for it by mapping it out on my face and showing me what my eyebrows would look like post procedure, which I really appreciated.
I'd be lying if I said it doesn't hurt at all, because it really depends on the person.
Yeah.
You might feel pain, but then that's why I always put second anesthesia.
Yeah.
And then if you want to stop, you can stop, but I'll make sure I'll finish your food.
Yeah.
And there's always a second session where I can just build up.
That's right.
Your face is kind of diamond shape, no? So for your kind of face shape, usually it's a curved brow. it's a curved brow, so it will soften your features. It's very up on your face. So I'll make it kind of curved. You can tell me what you think about this shape. Like with the
Yeah, this is actually good.
I'll make it from afar so you can see it.
I like it.
Okay, round shape.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll remove it how this one or
Sige.
makipansin dito without the ruler.
I'm just thinking now, like, how come I never done my brows like this?
It's okay, Roman.
Yeah,
now
I like it.
You can do it like this already because the thing with microblading good for me, I don't want it to totally like replace makeup,
Yeah.
like brow makeup, because I really want it to look natural.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a guide lang for you. So when you do it, when you're up in the morning, you have like something to follow.
Yeah.
Na, diba?
I really like this shape.
Okay, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it suits you more also.
It does.
No?
That's I'm like, it's so different. It's not like how I do it. And I
Because
actually
usually,
like this
I think
more.
you did it with more arch, diba?
Yeah.
High arch, and it's so panaog.
Yes.
So it'll make you look sleepier. So I just made it a little shorter. Usually you stop here.
Now that Mikey was done mapping the eyebrows on my face and I was already good with what my eyebrows would eventually look like, she then instructed me to just lie down while she applied the local or topical anesthesia on the areas. In my introduction video, I was obviously really scared. I don't know if at the time I knew that they would be putting on topical anesthesia on my brows or not, but I sort of had the idea right before I was about to get in that I would have to endure all the pain, but I was completely wrong because there's obviously local anesthesia all over my forehead. So we left the local anesthesia on for about an hour, and that was enough to get it to kick in and for me to feel sort of numb. Once the local anesthesia started kicking in and it was good to go, Mikey then proceeded to microblade my eyebrows.
Show you like everything I'm using is sterilized. And then I chose a chocolate brown color on you. Okay. So this is the color. There. Yes. I'm gonna start with this.
Now, there are 3 types of microblading styles that you could go for. The first is the microblading, which represents mostly stroking, which kind of looks like your natural hairlines. The second is the shading, which is more or less like a tattoo, or it has the effect of powder brows. And the third one is a combination of microblading and shading. Now, if you can tell by my eyebrows, I obviously got both. So I will scooch in a little bit closer. So there are parts over here, especially here, that are microbladed, like this one. And then some parts of it are shaded, like mostly towards the end, so that I have a more defined tail. Now, if I had to describe the pain that I experienced, it really wasn't that bad. I don't know what I was freaking out about because obviously the topical anesthesia was there. You could barely feel a thing. I could hear a little bit of the traction of the needles against my skin. So it kind of sounded like but it didn't scare me. It was more comforting on my part, or I was honestly amused by the sound of it. So she basically started with the microblading and then she went ahead with the shading. It's okay, girl. Now for the shading, she didn't use a manual needle. Instead, she went and used sort of like a tattoo gun. I have no tattoos whatsoever. I've always wanted one, but I've never really had the opportunity to get one, or I've never been compelled enough to get one. So this is really the first time. I honestly was a bit scared about the noise because I do get anxious about noises. I am freakishly afraid to go to the dentist because I hate the sound of that drill or their whatever it is. So I kind of had the same fear going in with the with the microblading pen. But I figured if you're someone like me who is afraid of that noise, you can always come in with earplugs or you know, you could just grin and bear it like I did. It's not that bad. If I were to compare the paint to something, it honestly felt like my eyebrows were being threaded, but instead of them threading it one by one, I was kind of being threaded like all at once. I don't really find threading painful, so I don't know if that's a good enough analogy for you guys. I've really been thinking about the ways to describe the pain. Also for me, it was sort of like just a numbing feeling. It was kind of numb, like if you had a bruise and if someone was pressing down on your bruise, that's really just kind of how it felt. Or if you can imagine it, not a million, like maybe 100 ants on your face. But honestly, I don't really know what being bitten by 100 ants feels like, so that's really not an analogy that I would like to say to you guys. You know what I mean? Remember how I told you guys that I had a little patch over here, an empty patch? Mikey completely saw it and she worked extra hard on trying to cover it up. I did feel a little bit more pressure here because it was against the bone. I finally understand what people mean when they say getting a tattoo hurts, especially when it's on the bone, because it was on my bone. It didn't really hurt, but I could definitely feel the pressure and the numbing. I'm ready to get back on the chair and do it again for my second session, which I have to get back to in a month from now. So that's basically how the procedure went. She went over it a couple times until she was very happy. The one thing that I really appreciate about Winged PH is that Mikey is such a perfectionist. Like, it's borderline OC. And honestly, when it comes to your brows, that's not a bad thing. You actually want that, because Mikey was going over my brows and she was pretty precise about it, but she wanted everything to be perfect. And she really did achieve the look that she was going for with my brows. And you know, that extra care and precision and, you know, attention to detail went a really long way. As soon as we were done wiping all that tattoo ink off my eyebrows, I was just so amazed. It was really good. Honestly, I feel so much better about my brows right now. I already knew that my brows were kind of sucky, but after this and seeing how much better my brows actually could look, I feel a lot better. And I think this is honestly why girls should do this, because if you're in a hurry and you are a bit like conscious about your brows, there's nothing wrong about wanting to look good and taking care of yourself. I used to be the type of girl who didn't really care about the way I looked, but then once I started paying a little bit more attention to the way that I took care of myself, the way I dressed, the way I looked, what I put on my face, I started to notice that my confidence went up and I felt better about myself, and I generally felt better about everything else. So if you're happy inside, you're happy outside, and I really don't think that there's something wrong with that. Microbladings only last up to 2 years, so if you don't like them anymore and if the styles change, you can definitely just wait for it to fade out. Also, this is gonna get pretty light, so you can still go back and use your favorite eyebrow pencils or whatever products it is that you use on your eyebrows. Now, I'm just gonna read to you guys everything that is on my aftercare set so that you know what I've been doing in order to take care of my brows. Do not pick, rub, itch, touch, or sleep in your brows or sleep on your brows for 10 days. Let any scabbing or dry skin naturally exfoliate away. Picking can cause scarring or loss of color. No facials, Botox, chemical treatments, or microdermabrasion for 4 weeks. And also, here are some important things to find that you should know. Use a fresh pillowcase. Avoid hot, sweaty exercise for a week. Avoid long hot showers or topical makeup, including sunscreen, for the first 10 days. Avoid swimming, lakes, hot tub, sauna, steam for the first 10 days, and do not use salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, scrubs, or any type of retinoid. I hope that this video answered most, if not all, of your questions about microblading. 2 microblading sessions cost 8,000 pesos, and Winged PH is located at Rivergate Mall across Mango Avenue. If you have any questions about any steps in the process of getting your microblading done, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can send me a private message. You can reach me on all my socials and I will be sure to get back to you. Again, I'd like to thank Mikey and I'd like to thank Winged for doing such a great job on my eyebrows. I feel so much better. I cannot say it enough. I feel so freaking beautiful. Like, I didn't know I was beautiful already. I'm just kidding. But yeah. I hope that you liked this video, and I cannot wait to make more of these. If there's something else that you want me to try, leave them in the comment section below and I will see what I can do about it. And yeah, I hope that you guys like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a little comment section below. If you want to go all the way, why don't you hit that little notification bell on your, I don't know where it is, but yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I will see you in the next video. I love you so much. Bye!